On this edition of Maury County Now, learn how to stay safe in and on the water this summer. Find out about the Teen Arts program at the Center for the Arts. Historic Maury County digs up another tale from Greenwood. And finally, find out how art in Mount Pleasant is informing about the past while shaping the future. All this and more on this edition of Maury County Now. Hello and welcome to Maury County Now, Columbia and Maury County's magazine news show covering all of Maury County. Water recreation can be a fun way to pass the time during the dog days of summer, but safety should always come first. Here's Fire Captain Jeremy Finley of the Columbia Fire Department with some tips on how you can stay afloat.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Finley with Columbia Fire Department. We're here today to give you a few water tips whenever you're going to be out on the water, being it's heating up outside and the next few weeks it's going to be really, really warm. The Columbia Dam over in Riverside is one of the places where we have a lot of boaters, a lot of activity, a lot of people are using the water for recreation. What we want you to know is to make sure that you're wearing your life vest and following all TWRA codes and being very, very safe when you're out on the water. We also want you to know that if you have a swimming pool, we would like for you to have a fence around your swimming pool on all four sides. We'd also like for you to have self-latching gates, and we'd like for you to have alarms on your pools if you could, and make sure that you're keeping close supervision on your children at all times. Common water-related accidents for us are most time in flood stage. Whenever it's flood, people try to go when they shouldn't go. If you can't see, turn around, don't drown. That's our philosophy. We really don't want people entering water. Also, we have a lot of times we have boaters that get in trouble, then we have to go and help the boaters out and perform rescues that way. During the 2010-2011 flood, we did perform a lot of rescues inside the city, trying to get people out of flooded water. Someone boating, always remain calm, have your life vest on. I know sometimes I do water recreation too. I know sometimes they're cumbersome, sometimes they're hot, but keep them on, especially your young children or your older. If you have older people in your party, make sure you have life vests on those guys and make sure the life vests fit properly. For more information, you can contact Columbia Fire Department 560-1701, and we have information on hand that we give out to the public.
The Teen Arts program at the Center for the Arts has not just found a way to teach kids classical artistic traditions, but also gives them a way to express it. We spoke to Nanette Ikemoglu, Teen Arts Coordinator, about the program and how these kids take center stage.
Hi, my name is Nanette Maria Ikemoglu, and I am the coordinator for the Teen Arts Project. It's the teens group at the Center for the Arts here in Columbia. And we just finished 2 weeks of camp. It was a teen camp, and we also did a mini matinee, but that was a different part for the center. The reason why, and with that, we're also planning to do it next year. But if you want to know a piece of what we did, if you can attend the coffee house, which should be July 25th, we're doing auditions for the coffee house yesterday and today, and a piece of the teen camp is actually being performed at the coffee house, which is a showcase that teens have available to them to showcase all their different talents. Well, in camp, Beverly Mitchell and Catherine Jones also assisted me in doing a lot of warm-ups, theater warm-ups that help with projection, help with getting comfortable with the stage, also getting comfortable with other people that you're not familiar with. You're all of a sudden start in the beginning of the week with someone you don't know, someone you didn't go to school, and by the end of the week, you're like family. And getting out of that box and knowing that in your creative status, you can create something that you don't even realize is within yourself. And I think that brings out confidence, which we need in the workforce. We're losing the purpose of art and creativity in education. We are losing it in our teens' job search. The whole point of creativity and the lack of engineers shows that we need more arts in teens. We need teens to be able to just create and have fun and play. Much as a child needs to go and just play with Legos or imagine with their baby dolls. This gives an avenue for teens to continue playing, but it's still cool. Upcoming right now, we're doing auditions for Coffee House. And Coffee House is a showcase, like I said, for teens to go anywhere from singing to dancing to poetry reading, name it. If you can do it on stage and showcase it, we can have it. We're having it displayed, and it'll be Saturday, July 25th at 7:30. And I'm sorry, Muletown Coffee and Altered Eagles are also sponsoring it. There's different ways to find information. One is the Center for the Arts website. It's www.centerforthearts.com. We also have also on Facebook. We have pages on Facebook, Teen Arts Projects on Facebook. So that's one of the easiest way that for you to find out. Or you can talk to people who are involved already. They're all around. You'll see us wearing a lot of the t-shirts, the performances that we did. And even though it's a past performance, they have no problems letting you know what's coming up next.
We'll be back with more Maury County Now after this.
Calling all readers, it's time for you to be a hero. Hero! Transform your summer with the amazing power of books. Hero! Kids from everywhere are accepting the challenge and enjoying adventures, activities, and fun. Explore your favorite topics or discover something new. It's up to you. You can be the hero. So join your friends for games, movies, special events, and more all summer long at your library. Every hero has a story.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
And now, back to more Maury County Now.
Adam Southern is back, and this time with another tale from Greenwood Cemetery. Roll out the old bones on this edition of Historic Maury County.
Hello, I'm Adam Southern, and this is another edition of Historic Maury County. And today, let's continue our talk of Greenwood Cemetery. We started at the front of the cemetery with Erastus White on the last episode. Now let's go to the very back of the cemetery and talk about one of my favorite people buried there, William Hawkins Polk. William Hawkins Polk was by far the best looking of the Polk clan and probably the most interesting. Let's face it, James K. Polk was kind of a boring guy. He was a great president, but a boring guy. All he ever did was work. Worked himself so much he died very early. His family was very different than him, however. He had one brother that was an alcoholic. Everybody in Columbia called him Frolickin' Frank. He had a sister named Ophelia that was crazy. One brother-in-law wrote about Ophelia that she had much of the devil about her. And then there was William Hawkins Polk, and he was a clothes hound. He liked to go around and buy the most dapper and most expensive clothing he could find. And the only problem was he didn't have much money. So James K. Polk got caught footing the bill for William Hawkins Polk. And you can look through the correspondence of James K. Polk, and he's constantly writing letters to William saying, please be more careful with money, don't spend so much. But he would go out and spend more. And ends up killing a guy on the streets of Columbia. And that's something for another segment. We've talked about that before. But by the time James K. Polk's president, the U.S.-Mexican War rolls around, William Hawkins Polk gets a commission as a major. And he's in the Mexican War. They say that he steals Santa Anna's wooden leg, and he brings it back to Columbia and charges people a nickel to come look at it. Despite the wildness of his youth, he went on to have a very distinguished political career. He went on to serve in the U.S. House of Representatives and was also the minister to Naples. And there he negotiated several peace treaties there that were very successful for his time. And by the time the Civil War rolls around, many people say that he goes out and starts stumping for secession. He made all these fiery speeches for secession and just stumping all over the county, getting them to vote for secession. And when Tennessee finally secedes from the Union, he gives a lot of his money and time to form a company of cavalry that becomes Polk Guard, and he's elected the captain. And just before they go off to fight in 1861, this company reorganizes and they elect a new captain. And they did not elect William Hawkins Polk, the captain of this company, and it hurts his feelings. So he takes his toys and he goes over to the Union Army and offers them his services. And there he makes several speeches for the Union, why the Union should be preserved, why the rebellion should be shut down. And he ends up dying in Nashville in 1862, which is Union controlled. And because of his sister-in-law, the widow of James K. Polk, Sarah Childress Polk, they're able to get permission to take his body through the Union lines back home to Columbia so they can bury it in Greenwood Cemetery and the Polk plot there. So ends the saga of William Hawkins Polk. Thank you for watching Historic Maury County, and be sure to come see me at the library. Thank you.
Mount Pleasant is taking a bold artistic step in honoring the tragedy of those lost in the Trail of Tears. Here's Bernice Davidson, Professor of Art at Martin Methodist College, about this unique project.
All right, I'm Bernice Davidson, Professor of Art at Martin Methodist College, and I am honored to be working with the folks at Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, to mark the Trail of Tears. Very recently, the Trail of Tears of Tennessee Committee and the National Parks have traced the routes of several of the 17 routes that went out on the Trail of Tears. And one of the routes, named Benji's Route, came through Mount Pleasant. And I've been working with Donna Morency from the Mount Pleasant Development Corporation, and we've devised a project to incorporate the artists and interested people from Mount Pleasant to do a marking of the Trail of Tears. And it has been so exciting. We started with the children, and we had about maybe 10 kids come out, and we talked to them about the Trail of Tears and what the folks went through who had to travel on the trail. And they felt into that situation, and they made the most beautiful drawings. And we asked them to put the portraits on flowers, because we felt like flowers would be a great symbol for the Trail of Tears, because it's natural, they come up from the earth, and we thought that would be a real sweet way to mark it, with flowers with portraits on them. And so the kids did the first flowers. And so what we did was we cut out the shapes of the flowers that the children made. And then we also were working with the names from the U.S. muster roll from 1838 of the heads of households from the Trail of Tears. And we have about 300 names. And Vicki Garland and some of the other folks that we've been working with picked out the names that they liked, and we started doing portraits. And the names are wonderful. They're Widow Swollen Knees and Bug and let's see, Wolf Head and Fish Jack and names like this. The names themselves tell a story. And so we've been working we're going to be working for 4 Saturdays, incorporating the citizens of Mount Pleasant into mosaicing and doing some clay work and making these multimedia pieces for the Trail of Tears. On July 25th, we're going to have our final session for this segment of the Public Works Experience, and I've invited several artists to come. From Centerville and from Nashville and different places to come down. And what they're going to do is they're going to paint the weather conditions on the backs of these portraits. So there'll be a landscape showing these weather conditions that the people walk through. And Tentoda has done a report, a meteorological report, that is very well researched, where they gleaned all information about the weather that the people walk through. And it was a season of incredible drought. It was also a season of the coldest weather. It was a season of deluge of rainfall and storms and thunderstorms. And these people had already been kept in pens for 3 months, waiting to go. and they were already sick and hungry. So this is kind of a sad story, but we're going to have this public arts experience where the artists are going to be painting. We're inviting the public to come see, and there'll be paper and art supplies for children to make art, because I want to do a show that is for children by children addressing the Trail of Tears.
To find out more information on any of the stories you've seen on this edition of Maury County Now, check out our website, maurycountynow.com, and look in the show notes for more details. Maury County Now is produced by Columbia TNTV. From the cast and crew of Maury County Now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.